Hey folks, how are you? Just wanted to talk a little bit rather than write, because I've written a lot, because I wrote this thing, which either reveals my inner asshole and or reveals that there is some sort of catharsis. Um, it's kind of crazy to see what I've been doing bit by bit. I don't know if it's any good, honestly. I mean, you spend so long with a project like this. Any of you who've done this, I'd imagine you probably relate. You don't even know what you're looking at anymore. I think my first practice as a kid was karate with Billy Blank's Taibo. And then I was obviously using crayons and drawing already at that point. So maybe it was a tandem process, but I feel like sometimes it's so hard to be objective in something that is subjective. You have to think about what your goals are. What are you trying to do? What is your purpose? I mean, there's so many questions, and maybe it's not good to question so much because you become paralyzed by it. So I started living with my drawings up in my little room just so I could get a sense of what it is I'm doing. I don't, I'm at an interesting point creatively where I feel like I've got something to offer. I don't know if it's commercially viable, but I think it's good and true and real. Uh, I have yet to have anyone read this book in full to tell me what they think about it. And that is a feeling that is not so comforting. It's almost like I'm going to go compete in a jiu-jitsu competition and I'm on the sidelines. They've called my name. I'm about to go and match somebody, and you get your stomach drop a little bit, and that's it. I mean, you put it, you leave it there on the mats, for all to see. You try for something. I mean, I think there's so many times that people, you either compete on the mats or you're trying to win on the mats, which is stupid because you're not winning anything in a sparring session. You didn't put it on the line. No one fucking cares. You're just training. So when you go and say, "Here I am a competitor. I am competitive. I will win." You're going there to win. You're going there to say who you are and stand and do something. And I think when I wrote this book, it's me declaring that I think that I'm good enough to even have anyone listen to what I have to say, which is kind of insane. I think that's the biggest thing for me. It's crazy for anyone to think they can do anything, especially with me, because I think I have battles with confidence all the time because I've never quite gotten there, right? I mean, I had a 7-win streak jiu-jitsu, which is pretty cool, but then crashed horribly in Worlds. Whatever is what it is. Had some animations I did. Some got into festivals. People seemed to like them. They played really well. Um, I had a big opportunity around 20. I blew that. I was overseas and didn't get the call. But I always felt like the bridesmaid, never the bride. So I think that you have to, a certain point, make your own luck. And this is what I'm doing. I mean, I'm declaring, here I am. And it doesn't mean you're not afraid. It doesn't mean you don't have your stomach drop. It doesn't mean that you still don't battle with confidence or feeling like you're valid. But I think it's a matter of that life is short, man, and you got to pay to play. So you have to wager. You have to be prepared to lose and lose big if you want to win big. Um, and I guess, man, we'll see what happens. Um, there when I am very lucky. I have a lot of people who really seem to give a shit, and that's awesome. I don't know if it'll be more than just the few, and the few's enough. But I would like to get the work out there if it deserves it. If it doesn't deserve it, then that's it. It doesn't place, it doesn't get a medal. But I'm hoping for a gold, man. I'll be happy with silver or bronze, but I'm going for gold. And thus I invested my time and blood and sweat and tears into this. So I think in life when we try to shape and sculpt our being, it's not unlike an artist shaping and sculpting their own work, that you have to put it out there and you have to be prepared to lose. If you wager nothing, then it just doesn't really matter. I have a lot of friends who've got a lot of balls, and they are doing great things because they try and fail, and they keep going, man. And I know more than a few people who are doing really great things. So, I mean, damn, it's crazy. This is weird for me. Again, I can't tell you if it's good, but I can tell you that, well, I put a lot of myself into this thing. Crazy. I don't know. I can't even, I don't know what percentage of my life I've spent working, doing work that doesn't immediately get me any kind of funds or money, right? It's passion. So I'd say, how much time have I spent being passionate, and forging through? Oh man, I don't know. I mean, how many hours do I sleep? How many hours do I have to work a job? How many hours do I do anything? But this is such a weird chunk of my life that's lived in my fucking brain. I live in my head so much. And I wonder how much I overlook now in the present. Anyway, I can ramble on and on. That's another thing with podcast people. It's amazing they talk for fucking hours. And I mean, it's so entertaining. To me, I can listen to someone else speak forever. But if I were to go back and watch some of my old things that I've done with this, which is not too often because I don't really like doing this, I don't think I'm really good at this at all. This thing. But anywho, I think that I might possibly be good at this thing. I might possibly be good at it. We don't know until you read it. So do me and you a favor. Read this thing and tell me what you think. Archway Publishing, The End of New York. Booze, Broads, and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Written by yours truly. Have a great night.